Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for watching. This show is all about giving you insights and showcasing brands that help you to live your best life and give you confidence. As always, I want to kickstart your morning with some motivational advice to help you to feel inspired and energized to start your day. Today, I want to talk about the importance of thinking big. Many of us limit ourselves from achieving our goals and recognizing our own greatness because we give into limiting beliefs that we ourselves created. In a sense, we get in our own way. There's a tape playing inside our head saying we aren't ready to accomplish our goals, that we need more time, that things need to be perfect to start. The truth is, this all boils down to one thing: thinking too small. When we train our minds to think big, we then begin to see the unlimited possibilities that we can accomplish. Nothing is too big or small for us to accomplish if we set our minds to it. So how do we train our minds to think big? Well, we let go of any thoughts or beliefs that create small or limited thinking. Begin today to change I can to I will, I should to I am. These little changes in the way we speak to ourselves and our internal dialogue changes our thinking to always thinking big and seeing the possibilities. As Marianne Williamson quotes, "Think bigger, forget limits, embrace the idea of endless possibility. It will change you." Stay tuned. Coming up after the break, let's talk about one of your most memorable milestones that you had so far.
I've had quite a lot of them. That was definitely one of them. Just the opportunity to sit with Michael and just kind of amazed that he knew my name.
Yeah.
I'm a little guy from Kingston, Jamaica, and this guy knew who I was. I think that was incredible.
Next up on the show, we have the artist Shaggy, a pioneering reggae dancehall artist. Shaggy is among the top 3 streamed reggae artists of all time on Spotify, along with Bob Marley and Sean Paul. Shaggy, thank you so much for being on the show today. It's really an honor to have you.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. Much love,
So before we dive into your successful career, highly successful career, let's talk about when you realized you wanted to be a musician.
Wow. When did I want to become people said get into music for different reasons. I got into music simply because of women.
That's honest.
I was in the lunchroom at Erasmus Hall and I realized that if I spit rhymes, I got the girls, It was pretty evident at that point. I said, this is really happening. And after a while, you realize when I had these records, I got into clubs for free, I drink for free, and I always, got the prettiest girl. So it was pretty easy to make that transition. As I went on, and I think after I got to Carolina, was when I realized that I was now, Oh Caroline was the first #1 dancehall record in the British chart. So I was now in the head of and representing a whole genre, and it got serious at that point,
Definitely. And I read somewhere that you were part of the military, so that's pretty interesting. How did that shape your destiny and kind of who you have become today?
It's funny, people think that when you go into the military, you go into the military to learn how to fire a gun. I went into the military to learn how to balance my checkbook. An incredible amount of discipline, waking up early in the morning, just, you don't get promoted unless everything is squared away. And, I took that same attitude and discipline towards making music that when I was up, I had to get up at early morning and be on time for all my interviews on different continents. And, it's a lot easier now because a lot of people are doing and promoting music just from their devices. But back then we had to on planes and jumping in different countries, so the military helped prepare me for that.
Yeah. So when you were in the military, is that when you still wanted to do music, or was this before that?
I was doing music while I was in there.
Wow.
I used to drive from North Carolina to New York every week just to recorded Old Caroline on a song called Big Up, Big Up. Was recorded in my uniform at INS Studio in Manhattan.
Wow.
Yep.
And, you've had such a successful career, from having Grammy Award-winning songs, and I saw that you also performed at Michael Jackson's 30th anniversary. Let's talk about one of your most memorable milestones that you had so far.
I've had quite a lot of them. That was definitely one of them. Just the opportunity to sit with Michael, and just kind of amazed that he knew my name.
Yeah.
I'm a little guy from Kingston, Jamaica, and this guy knew who I was. I think that was incredible, and he knew the records on the songs on my album. He was asking me where I was when I wrote them, what was my process. That was really cool to do that. James Brown was another big one. I toured with James Brown in Antwerp, and he would come out every night on my set and watch me. Wow. And ended kicking up my door in my dressing room one day and tell me, sit down, I want to talk to you. You just let them see outside to you. Let me tell you something. You take away your house, your car, your woman, they'll never take away your talent. As long as you got your talent, you're a rich man.
That's good advice.
Yeah, incredible pep talk, man. And that was great, because I was such a fan of James Brown, and he's responsible for so many artists. So many artists have been inspired and influenced by him.
Yeah.
Meet the Queen the other day was singing at her birthday.
Wow.
We were recently invited, to sing for the Pope also. So it's been quite a ride. It's been a cool little journey.
Yeah. What do you think the key to your success has been? Because you know what? Everyone wants to do music. Everyone wants to be successful. As you said, when you went to the army, you learned a lot of discipline. So what do you think kind of separated you from other people, and why your music has just blown up?
Well, I think I realized really early along that I was the underdog. I was in a that was not a mainstream genre. I understood I had to write songs 10 times better than that person. I had to do things 10 times better and work 10 times harder than the average person just to even have a seat at the table or be in the room. In 1993 when we came out, and I had a string of hits, Oh Carolina, Mr. Bombastic, all these songs lined up. The radio didn't play dancehall or reggae. So how do you get record companies to invest in a genre, an artist in a genre that doesn't bring numbers to the game? So I think what has kept me, part of the success of that is that there's no two Shaggy songs that sound the same.
Yeah.
When I did Oh Carolina, I don't know if you remember this song called Boom Shakalak that came out from Apache.
Yeah. I know all your songs.
Right. So it was, one was Oh Carolina was me, and then it was Boom Shakalak by Apache Indian, and there was Tease Me by Chaka Demus and Pliers. And they all had that same Oh Carolina music, bent to and vibe. And the record company wanted me to do another one because all of these records came in and went to, Boom Shakalak was number one, Tease Me, and Twist and Shout, one was number two, one was number three. They were all top 5 records. And they wanted me to do more of that, and I refused, and I ended up doing a song called Mr. Bombastic, which they were really pissed about because it sounded nothing like Oh Carolina.
Yeah.
But they viewed it number one, and I think it's the fact that I've always tried to change. When I did Wasn't Me, we were in NSYNC and Britney Spears mode, and you remember hearing Wasn't Me, like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
But it became infectious, and that's kind of what I've kept doing. I look outside the box. I always want to go left field. And even recently when we did with Banana, again, it's some left field kind of vibe, So that's what I just do. I got to be excited first before anyone else.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And you know what, as you said at that time when you had come out, no one really sounded like you. There weren't a lot of songs on the radio that had your kind of unique musical style. How did you develop that unique musical style?
Well, I'm a person with many voices, because even when I do background, I'll sing the back, because I couldn't afford background singers back then. So I would sing each note, I would play each note and to sing those notes, to make the background work. So I is doing different voices, Part of what I was doing at the time was with all those voices, I wanted to come up with a unique sound. And so I put Carolina in the voice that I used to sing cadences with when I was in the Marines. So I don't know, but I've been told My CEO wears pantyhose. And we were singing these cadences, and we did that because, all of the drill instructors would talk to you like, hey, boy, come over here, boys. Drop and give me 20. You know what I mean? They'll give you that. And so I used to mimic them, and just to make everybody else laugh. Oh, I tell you, if I come in here, boy, let me, They all funny.
Very interesting. Let's talk about how you use your platform to give back. I don't know if you remember this, but I had met you years back at the Joe Carter Classic. I had interviewed you, and you were very humble, and that was a charity event in Toronto. And I know you have your own charity, Shaggy and Friends. So let's talk about the importance of giving back for you.
Well, I'm from a small country, small island, Jamaica. And we have a hospital there that's the only children's hospital in the English-speaking lovely, Princess Diana was supposed to come there and gave a lot of attention to it, and she died right before it. So I kind of took it all up, and we've raised almost $3 million. We built a cat lab, and we continue to work with it very closely on fixing whatever problems it is, and giving back is I got a lot from my country of Jamaica. I get involved as much as I can to make people to fix it and promote it and promote the culture and promote. It's magical when you look at a country that has less than about 3 million people, and the impact that it has had on popular culture. From everything that's going on with Lady Gaga and Katy Perry and Rihanna and all of these young acts that are, that's all Grace Jones. Look at what they call trap right now. That's King Tubby's and dub. A lot of it comes from the Jamaican culture, and you've seen it now in popular music. And I celebrate my country every chance that I get, and it's just something, I did a record with Sting from the Police, and, he sat down and he wrote Every Breath You Take, Everything She Does Is Magic, King of Pain, and all of these songs, and he did them at Golden Eye in Rockabessa. There's something magical about this place, There's something magical that works, and, Chris Blackwell built a whole company that houses such artists as U2, out of Jamaica, So, there's a lot to be celebrated, and it is a big part of it, to support the culture, and so giving back is a big part of it, and doing everything to nurture young minds and young talents, and create opportunities is something that I'm big on.
Yeah. I really want to go to Jamaica. It's one of the places I haven't been. And we had Sean Paul on our show a couple weeks ago, and he was just saying such great things about Jamaica. So I need to go there. Now, after you're saying it's so great too, I'm definitely, after this pandemic is done, I will definitely visit. But talking about the Caribbean vibe, and you mentioned Rihanna, I did see that Rihanna's reps had approached you about doing a song on her 9th album, and you turned it down. So why did you turn it down?
No, I didn't turn it down. That's what was reported at it.
Oh, okay.
Came this whole crazy viral madness.
Yes.
I was asked to get involved, and I said, sure, let's get together. Let's see if we could schedule it with her people and my people. And obviously she's incredibly busy, and I'm incredibly busy. I have a lot of things that I'm working on at the same time. And so they asked if maybe because of our schedule, and if they could basically send me some beats. And I just didn't feel like I wanted to approach it that way. I would rather be in a session together and create the magic. That's kind of what I said. And I guess the way I said it, they took it another way. But as far as Omar, the A&R and all these guys, we still talk, and these guys are really wonderful guys. Rihanna it's always love every time I see her. I've known her for so many years, and she's the queen of the Caribbean. Obviously a massive superstar in the world. So so it wasn't a turn down or a snub of any sort. It was just scheduling conflicts, and and I prefer a certain way of doing production.
That's okay, yeah. And I'm sure you guys will work together in the future. Two amazing artists, so I'm sure it'll happen. Let's talk about your current music. Banana has become a viral sensation. It has 30 million TikTok videos with the Banana Drop Challenge, so that's really cool. So let's talk about your current music and your new song.
It's great. We just passed 1 billion streams yesterday.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Big up to Conqueror, who's the feature, who's the artist on there, and he's an amazing guy. He came to me with a great idea. We took it, we ran with it, and it became something really infectious and great. And what I loved about it is that it brought smiles to a lot of people's faces. When you look at the Banana Drop Challenge, it was people that was young, old, black, white, straight, everybody were getting involved. It was a family affair, and the more you could do music that reach people on a global scale like that and really affect in a positive way and put smiles on their faces is a job well done in my book.
100%, and it has a nice, feel-good tropical vibe, and especially with everything that's going on in the world, when you hear a song like that on the radio, it makes you feel good, as you said. So yeah, thanks for putting out great music. And last but not least, our show is all about inspiring the new generation, or not just the new generation, anybody, and you've been very successful. So if you can leave one piece of advice that someone gave you, or a mantra you live by, what piece of advice would you give our audience on kind of achieving success and kind of believing in yourself?
Well, I think you just hit the nail. You have to believe in you before you sell you to anybody else.
Yeah.
In my case, if everybody could see my vision, then they'd go do it. Sell your vision. So if you're selling your vision and most people aren't grasping to it, it simply means that's because you're special.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if everybody could see it, then they just go do it. But if you got a plan and a vision for yourself, you really just got to work hard to it. I like doing things and people thinking, wow, I didn't expect that. And that's kind of my little high that I go for. I like proving people wrong in that sense. They'd be like, oh, well, that can't happen. And this, and then you just, blow them out the box, Not that it would change, because they'll still, unfortunately in this game, sometimes people fail their way up. But
yeah. But I think that's great advice.
Like, yeah, but you kind of screwed up a whole bunch of things. How are you running this company still? But, just for your own growth and your own, just your art and what you're doing, it's good. It's good to just know what you're doing and own yourself and own what it is, your ideas. And if it excites you and you get up every morning and you want to do this, that's what you should do. That's where you should go.
Yeah, I think that's great advice and so true. Having a passion, believing in it, and of course, as you said, proving people wrong, because that's the best, right? When people don't believe in you, or not even or maybe even underestimate you, and then you come out on top. So I think that's very great advice.
Yeah, and you don't have to be nasty about it. You just got to let them know. It says, hey, I was right.
Very true. Well, thank you, Shaggy, so much for being on the show today. I really appreciate it. And again, congratulations on all your success. You really are an inspiration. So yeah, thank you for coming on.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Tag TV is available on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple and Android TVs, as well as on Apple and Android phones. Watch us live through YouTube and Facebook.